We're here to show Ellie Fears the Soul by Rainer Werner Fassbinder. And I've invited my old teacher and wonderful friend, Stephen Prina, to discuss this. And Stephen taught a class when I was in art school that was amazing. It was an in-depth class purely on Fassbinder. And we would like to talk about Ellie Fears the Soul. In my verbally feeble way, my poor description of this film is, it's essentially, it's a film about conflict and harmony, and it's, it explores these discrepancies in age, in culture, in working conditions, and it creates kind of a sense of friction.
So, das ist mein Mann. El-Hidi Ben Salem Mbarek Mohammed Mustafa. Ich nenne ihn Ali.
You can think of it as an essay on inclusion and exclusion. This seems to mark a particular moment in Fassbinder's career. But when I started seeing Fassbinder films, people, a lot of the film crowd said, oh, well, his first films are really fantastic, and then he decided to become a populist. And they derided those films. They felt that he had more or less renounced his avant-garde credentials, and he was emulating the melodramas of 1950s Hollywood.
When you talk about something like a melodrama, it's classic storytelling. It's just classic human communication. And I think also when I see Ellie Fears the Soul, there's something so simple about the structure of it.
In that film, everything counts. Like every position of the camera counts. When you have the housekeeper pitted against all of the people who are in the bar.
Yeah.
And it's done so extremely. Like there's no muddling the waters. It's like the one woman looking at the group and the group looking at her. And that speaks volumes without using language.
The other thing is the idea of such extreme productivity in such a short amount of time. 40 plus films in a decade or so.
I think one of the ways that he achieved that was building his own version of what an old-time Hollywood studio would have been. Working with many times the same cinematographer, same producers. He had his group of actors that he worked with often.
In Ellie Fears the Soul, wasn't his lover the protagonist in it?
Yes.
I think also looking at Fassbinder's work, you cannot see it in a vacuum. You cannot see that these films were made only with these recurring people. It's also deeply influenced by Germany in the 70s, and this landscape of radical political questioning. Started directing when he was 22 to 37 or something like that, and it's 40 plus films. 40 plus films. In this very, very short amount of time.
Coupled with being a workaholic.
Yeah.
Even on his deathbed, he was working on the Rosa Luxemburg project. His notes were around him when he was found. Maybe his narrative was that after 40 films, he was destined to spin out at 37. Maybe that is part of the melodrama of Fassbinder.